Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.
Barry Nash, welcome to North Carolina Now.
Well, thank you for having me.
Now, you are the Seafood Technology and Marketing Specialist with North Carolina Sea Grant.
Correct.
Now, describe your role in addressing the economic development, especially when it comes to the seafood industry.
My role with the seafood industry began training the seafood industry in the handling practices that would protect the quality and safety of seafood. I also worked with the industry on developing further processed products that would add or enhance the nutrition, the taste appeal, and the convenience of seafood products. But I also got into the marketing aspect because I realized that our industry needed to change the way they were selling their seafood in order to get more visibility for their products. And so we began a program back in 2006, or launched in 2006, called Carteret Catch, which was an umbrella branding organization designed to give a number of processors and retailers in Carteret County an opportunity to operate under one brand, and that this brand would also educate consumers about the value points of local seafood.
Now, this has expanded, I guess, in various areas along the coast into local catch groups.
Correct.
Now, what are the functions of these local catch groups?
Well, basically what they're designed to do is to raise the consumers' awareness of local seafood and of the fishermen who harvest it. And so we focus on specific things that we believe that local seafood has that imports cannot match. For instance, seasonality. We like to talk about when certain popular commodities are seasonally available along the North Carolina coast. So if you're looking for fresh shrimp, you want to begin looking for it in June, not in January. We also like to talk about the state and federal rules that protect the wholesomeness of seafood. We also talk about the rules at the state and federal level that protect the resource for the next generation of seafood eaters. And we also like to promote the heritage and the traditions of the fishermen who make commercial fishing their livelihoods. There are people who actually make their living off the water, and we want them to know more about the people who are bringing North Carolina seafood to commercial markets for the benefit of consumers.
Recently, a local catch summit was held in Morehead City. What were some of the items or issues you were trying to present during this particular summit?
Well, we have 4 different catch groups in North Carolina. We have Outer Banks Catch, we have Ocracoke Fresh, Carteret Catch, and Brunswick Catch, and that really encompasses all the 3 coastal regions in the state. And we are now going to have North Carolina Catch, which is an umbrella organization that will do education and promotion for the industry across the state. And we wanted them to have uniform messages. We wanted them to be able to talk with one voice to consumers about what they feel they want consumers most to know about local seafood and about the men and women that make that seafood available to consumers, so that we don't confuse consumers about what they should be looking for when they're purchasing local.
Looking at the seafood industry, how do you see the role of technology helping the seafood industry?
Well, the technology that we begin with is handling practices that protect the quality and the safety of seafood. And anything you do to protect quality is going to protect safety. And there are a number of ways that we can use technology to do that. But the other thing that we're looking at too is we're looking at novel food ingredients that can be used to process seafood into market forms that give consumers products that have enhanced nutrition, taste appeal, as well as preparation convenience in the home. And we're also looking at ways to help fishermen be able to aggregate their product, process that product into forms that the market wants, and be able to distribute that with a great deal of efficiency to different parts of North Carolina where the demand for local is high.
Now, of course, you're promoting local purchases. Mm-hmm. What is the challenge that most of the fishermen are facing, especially if you're having a local catch compared to perhaps maybe, or having people to buy local catches instead of perhaps going to New York or somewhere else with the catch? What's the challenge there for folks?
Well, the challenge is moving that product from the coast to inland markets here in North Carolina. Typically, a fair portion of our seafood goes up and down the eastern seaboard, primarily to markets up in the northeast, where it will mingle with imports and loses its identity as a local product here in North Carolina. We have many people that have come to North Carolina because they value the Outer Banks, they value the fishing, of course, but they also value the heritage of the fishing communities. And so by moving that product from east to west, we can get people more in touch with the individuals who are harvesting their seafood. And what we do know from our consumer research is that people are trying to form a personal relationship with the people that are harvesting their seafood. And seafood is the connecting point. And so it's not just about buying local product, it's also about understanding and supporting local fishing communities.
And we've talked about several local catch groups, but if there are fishermen out there that would want to become a part of one of these groups, how can they go about doing that?
Well, right now the catch groups have been typically county-based. Carteret, Brunswick Catch, Outer Banks Catch has 4 different counties involved in their program, but with the advent of North Carolina Catch, this organization will do promotion and education for everybody that's for any fishermen in coastal communities. So they'll have an opportunity to join that organization if they cannot join the local groups that are now currently on the coast.
And I know you can't really look into the crystal ball or anything like that, but what do you see as the next step, especially when it comes to seafood and making sure that North Carolina has an abundance of seafood for buyers, and that even the fishermen themselves are able to make the catches that they need to make in order to survive?
Well, we certainly have done a great deal of work with the fishermen to produce a safe and wholesome product. And I believe that our local seafood is some of the safest on the planet. We've worked with our industry to help them learn the value of branding, learn the value of the internet and social media to raise the visibility of their products and of their local communities. What we want to do now is look at ways that we can move that product from the coast to inland markets here in North Carolina, where the people who value local seafood can get access to local seafood. So we're going to be looking at supply chains next.
Barry Nash, Seafood Technology and Marketing Specialist for North Carolina Sea Grant. We thank you so very much for stopping by and sharing your insights with us.
Thank you again for having me.
Podcasts on UNC-TV.org are made possible through the financial contributions of viewers like you, who invite you to join them in supporting UNC-TV.